Sorry. So user interface. So UI is nothing but user interface. What is the policy? Policy. So when you join income HR policy is there. Then you go to LIC policy. What is the policy? Everybody knows LIC policy. So what is the policy? Sorry? Policy is nothing but set of rules and regulations. Simple things. So here also UI is nothing but user interface. Policy is nothing but what are the rules and regulations? The user interface. So UI policy will execute in the client. Now there are two types of level of execution. The first one is the server level. Second one is the client level. Client level is nothing but client is root which will execute in the browser level. So that is nothing but so which is executed in the browser level. So that is nothing but unwanted. What we are stopping, that is nothing but so you want to data in some required format. That is not done. Either submit the record or invalid record. The simple thing was, so we have option married or unmarried. So if you are married, then ask your wife and children is it. If you are not married, those details are not required. So simple thing, so if you are not married and you entered the wife and children details. Whenever come to literacy, there is embarrassing also. But so whenever the user want to data, if he select the, if he married, then he has to enter the data. Those the thing was, first thing was in the browser level. In the browser level, from the browser level, it will go to the server. From the server, it will come to back. There is nothing but so it was a unwanted data. So that is, it is not acceptable. The first thing was which is going for the client to server, server to back to the client. So that is a burden on the server. There are many thousands of records. That is decrease your application performance. It will also. So when we start the data in the same thing, then we have to, if we have stopped the same browser, that is nothing but will not go to the server. That means if you are stopping the burden on the server. I hope you got it. So simple thing. When you have the daily options, when you go to the education selected BTech, it is asking college name. If you click on the, if you have PZ, then you will go to the bar. You are going to have application. When you click, if you have passport, when you click on passport, yes, it will ask the passport number. Or else it will be a envelope. You got it? The simple thing, assume that, so simple thing which you have example. So if you marry, you want to enter the 5 details, children details. The simple thing which you configure in the employee table. So maybe this was in regular we have done, but we don't know the basic scenario was the same, the backend was same thing, but we don't know this will done like the UI policy. So when you click on new, so assume that here I just want to create one field called marry. So marital status. So I'm just adding marital status. So I just want to give a child one, maybe child. So if we enter these all the details, so the marital status, what are the marital status available? Single, married. Maybe that is secondary, so just forget about this one. So I want to show options in the marital status. Marry. How can I configure configure? So how? How? Tell me the purpose. You already know. You already practiced. Tell me. Right click on the field, configure dictionary. Type by choice. That's fine. I'm sorry. What happened? Yeah. Type by choice, and so if you want again, I can. We don't want to give it one. I'm just giving drop down with one. Or else you can go for the suggestion also. We have seen the suggestion option also. So the controls, choices, tell me. So why, what label is nothing but what is the label? Yeah. Value, what is the use of this value? Sorry? Yeah, tell me what is the use of value I am giving here? Sorry? No. You are practiced. AP state of, but why you are confusing still? So that is not value is nothing but this value will apply over this one. Don't confuse. What is the order of? We are displaying the drop down. I'm sorry. So single, married. If you want to, you can add any other also. Divorce, something. Yeah, something. The lady, you can go to the widow, something. 200. So I'm just updating here. Maybe it was updated. Not yet. Yeah. It's married is not updated. That's why we are not sure. So what happens? Configure dictionary once again. Then the marriage is not saved. That and the sequence is not yet saved. That's as a first thing. The sequence we have to get. Sorry. So I'm sorry. What is not what happened? Happens today. Sorry. Yeah, we have given 200. I'm very sorry. Just click on update. Now you don't update. Now what is our goal? So I assume that I'm just giving if he is not single, I'm entering the wife name something XYZ child 1 ABC like the ABC. So is it a valid record? So, who is my favorite student in the entire ServiceNow my training. Personal information. So you can see here Sanjay is single. Under the wife name and child name. Is that a valid one? But ServiceNow will accept it. They don't know what you are given, but it is not. So what we have to give? If he is single, we don't want to show child 1, child 2. If he is a married, then only we want to display it. Okay. So something. So we want to create a here. We can create UI policy. UI policy. Policy is nothing but set of right click configure UI policy. So I'm just making here. So married. You can write short list nothing but you can add what you. That is nothing but whenever any person sees this one is easy to understand what is the why we have written this one. Marital status. So I have given matter. So after that, what is the order? What is the order I have given? So marital status, that's fine. UI policy name. So why? What is the order? Sequence is, what is the use of sequence? How you want to display it. Here order is nothing but, for example, if you are in two UI policies, the status is, then which one is good first thing? That means there is something should be, it's good first thing. That is the use of order. It is from the lower order to higher order. Got it? Next thing was when to apply. When to apply? Married status is, I'm giving married. Here, if you selected the UI policy applied to all of views, we have the global. Global is nothing but if you created a different views, we can restrict this UI policy to particular view. Whenever if you remove this one, we have to view. I think I hope you know the views. I think there is no views for this one. There is nothing more. So whenever if you have given view, it will automatically display. So when I click global, false, it was displayed. These are one of the UI policy. This is also UI policy. But maybe they have to so this one. And onload true. That is nothing but this UI policy will execute when the form loads and when the user changes the value. Got it? Still any confusion? Very easy and but little bit confusion. So you have to understand this is because dive. So then you will easily grasp it. So and we'll tell you what is the use of reverse shift false later. We'll show you. And here inherited. What is the inheritance? So assume that this is the policy you have written for this one. What is the one? It is applicable to the child table. So we can get inheritance is true. We don't want it as only applicable to that parent table. We don't want to give it. So now what we are given, we have written one condition is there and do it. So just now we have created one UI policy. After that, what we have to do? Nothing but we are informed the system when the marital status was married. After that, what we have to do? We have to create the policy actions. What is the action? What is an action? Doing something. What is when you go to synonyms, action is something, you are doing something. So here also UI policy is nothing but UI policy action is nothing but whatever we want to do. Just click on here. So we want to display fields. So I want to use the wife name. Where is this wife name? Wife name. You want to make it as a mandatory. You want to make it as a nothing but, so I'm just making this one a visible and mandatory. So really you can just forget about one, because if you want to, the best practice was for this one, we should not give the read only and mandatory, both are true. For example, if you want to fill that value, but you are given that value as mandatory, but you are given the read only. Is it a value? We didn't have an option to it. That was a very big problem to us. So if it is a mandatory, then field value is automatically filled, then no need to worry. If not, that should be read only should be. We don't need to fill that. I'm just submitting this one. I'm waiting fast or slow. No, this was very slow. It's sensitive topic, the UI policy. So I'm just making this one. And we want to display the child one and child. So child one, I'm saying saving one. Mandatory, visible. So your policy actions. Child 2 and true visible. That's right. So now we have configured one UI policy. We have given the condition. Let's see that will be applicable or not. Personal information. This is our table. So here I am just going to Sanjay. If it is single, it is not displaying anything. If you married, so forget about this one. I just want to, don't worry, upload for the Krishna. The Krishna, so if it is a not, state was not met, that's why there is no field for displaying. So if I change this one to single, nothing will display. But when I change it to married, it is asking the wife name and children. So when I want to save this record, so the mandatory fields are not filled. So we have to fill that. Write anything. Okay, just update. This is the use of UI policy. So simple thing was this is an on change. So when I want to, this is on. Whenever the will applicable, whenever that was form changed, value changed or form load, those two cases this will applicable. So I'm just going to create a one record Ashok. So role I'm just making test. So joining or something will be different. So I'm just want to create when you are not married, but don't think about one. So when I give married, so I will give some other name. So child one Rakesh. So those two are given. When I give the married, it will coming. When I go to the none, it won't appear. So why it was not appearing? Yeah. So I will display. I will show you with an example that one. So in this case, we have option inherited, not inherited, reversive paths. That's why it was coming. Let's open this record, configure, go to the UI policy. So these UI policy also will store some other location. This is a table. What was the table name? UI underscore UI underscore policy. Please remember these are the basic things. Please this terminology. What is the table? Yeah. UI underscore policy, the table number. Okay. So here when you just click on advanced view, so here we have option reversive false. Reversive false. That is what is that one? What is the reverse? That is nothing but reverse is nothing but we are coming back to the previous one. So I'm just making this one as false. I'm doing so when just one when this record was married. So assume that I'm just removing these all the records. So we'll create a new record and let's see. So you can see here when the status was married, then only it was done. This was fine, but when you go to the single, it's also mandatory. Is that a valid one? So that is the use of reverse. So let's go here. Sorry. Reversive false was making true, and let's save it one. So I'm just reload the form. Then only it will be applicable to this particular one. If you marry to this thing, it's not. But this is the use of reversive pause. You will definitely ask. Will about think about this one. What is the use of reversive pause?
Karthik.
Yeah.
Quick question on earlier when you selected the status and enter both the details in. When you flip it back to single, the details have not been erased. Will those values get stored in the record?
It will not store. It will automatically. Simple thing. So I'm just going to marry it here. Let's see here. So I'm just going to here single. Okay. I'm just going to marry it. It was saved. Temporarily it was. But when you reload the form, it will automatically remove. Temporarily will save. Up to save the record, it will reload it. Saved and you have reload the form, it will automatically remove. Okay.
So if I submit that, if I submit that record, those values will not go into the database.
If I just now I have read the record, which is a 7 record, the username method. It was displaying here. So if you want to, if the status was single and you want to clear these values on the fields, clients we can remove the things. Clear values on the field, your option is there, we can remove it. Okay?
Yeah.
Still any confusion?
No, I understand it.
That is not what we have scripting as a record. We can do all of what is the app you can erase that one. We have from the scripting to do it. So we will tell you in the later in the scripting. If I started doing scripting, you will use the ServiceNow. You never learn the ServiceNow. That was very little bit difficult if I start in the first classes. So you will trying to classes. So I do not want, but later I tell you. So but just now I am moving your mind diverted into the ServiceNow. Okay, so you got it. This is the data policy, which will execute it in the which level? Form level. So UI is nothing but form. So this is the example to reduce the burden on the server. We will use the UI policies and client scripts. Client scripts are the same pattern. This GUI format. Client scripts we will write the scripting also. So using the simple scenario, whenever the manager is married, simple scenario. So you can configure from both from the client script and UI policy. So which one you will prefer? My choice was UI policy. Choice. Sorry. Why? If UI policy, what's your choice? Don't tell my choice as you. Just kidding. You can tell me. What's your choice? I'm not asking any technical. I'm just asking what's your choice. Say yes or no. So simple thing. This can be done by the client script. Client scripts also will execute in the browser level, and this UI policy will execute in the browser level. So if I want to configure the same scenario, the marriage state was married, I can display the wife and different fields. So that's what we can do. Whether should we can take if you have policy, why? So Rana, what's your choice?
I think I'll go with the UI policy because it will reduce the load on where the functionality is.
Simple thing was, no, I don't think we can tell it as a simple answer. If you go to the client script, you have to remember the client scripts. Yeah, the simple thing. If anybody asks, I will tell the simple thing. I don't know the scripting. I will go to the GUI. We can do it. You got it? So the ServiceNow also reminds if any like a scenario, use the UI policy. Clients will make performance issues will there. This UI policy will not affect the performance issues. The best practice for the UI policy. If you got like this scenario, you have to execute from the UI policy. ServiceNow also recommends us. Okay, this is one of the interview question. You can simply say this scenario can be done by the UI policy and client ships. We can use the UI policy. Why? Because you can answer. I don't know if I can use from same thing. Or you can go for the if you go to the client scripts, so it might affect the functionality at one. So simple thing well, done with the UI policy first thing. After you have done the client script. Which one execute first? UI policy will execute the first. Client with the second priority. You can also same thing. This is the one of the interview question. Please note down here. Okay, Rana, you got it. So you have get an answer.
Yeah.
You can say I don't know, I am very bad in scripting, so I will use the UI policy because you can go to the drag and drop. UI policy is nothing but this is the UI policy one. You got it out of the UI policies. Still any confusion? Still any confusion, Rana, or any queries related to this one?
No, I'm
what you will execute. So once the client script already will cover you this one. So you can write the scripting also. That is nothing but scripting is nothing but if you run script, if that condition execute, what you want to execute a script here. If it is false, what we want to read it. So I will tell you the client script. After that, you can perform this one. I will tell you give the task and you can simply perform once the client script concept is completed. So you got it, Rana? Still in confusion?
I understand, no confusion.
So now I'm just going to the next step. Go to the data policy. What is the data policy? What is the data? Data is what is the data? Anything will be data. So in your laptop, server data is there. In the laptop, what was the basic thing? If you want to log in, what is the basic thing? If you want to open the laptop, what was the you should know. Exactly. So if you don't know the password, we're not able to do it. So the data is also the same thing. The data is nothing but which data policy is nothing but which will execute in the server level. Server is nothing but table level. In the service now we'll call as two types. One is execute in the form level, UI level. The second one is execute in the database level, that is a server level or table level. So server level, table level, data. Table level. Both will be same. Form level, list level, client level. Always the same. Compare this one. So form level is nothing. Form level is nothing but this is the client will execute in the browser. Table level is this will execute in the table. So I just want to create here. I am going to active this one. In an active false, and also if you want to perform this action, this UI policy is always true. I'm just going to save this one. Now I'm just removing this one. Now I want to create the same thing for the data policy. It's in the table level. Just configure here. Create a data policy. Data policy. So this data policy also will store in some other table. What was the table name? Because if you don't know, just click here. Simple thing. What are the, if you create one table, it will execute in which table? For example, if you want to create one table, that will execute in which that will record which table. For example, simple thing, you have received one custom task implementation. So you want to create that one in your table. Then what you will do? So you have to create one, go to the table, so you can create a one record. That custom table will show in which table. In our terminology, it's a table. But ServiceNow is a record in which table. What was the table name? What was the table name, Rana? Rana, you got the question? You understand the question or still in confusion?
No, you're asking what is the table name for where the table is stored.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's 600 underscore
Yeah, sys underscore
table or something.
Sys underscore, that's fine. Every system table will sys underscore. After that, db underscore opposite. This was the basic. Whenever you're writing your policy, you can verify which location, which table. Whenever writing a import set, that will store which table. When you are going to perform an update, that will store which table. So this will give you the basic things. Please, you should be aware of this one. Okay? Please verify. And also, I have to tell that on roles. How many members read that roles? One party roles. This is maybe in this Omen's class. At least you should prepare 50 roles. I think you are not at least 10 roles also. I know. So if you want to go to data policy, verify UI policy and data policy and imports it, updates it, which roles required. Let me explain. Verify. Okay, verify in Google or Instant, whatever it may be. Tell me. Okay, this is not okay. So data policy I'm just creating. So in the data, creating a data policy, we should know and which table you want to create. Should be in the employee table, whatever it may be. So in the drop down, we can select the required table. And inherited. What is the inherited? What is inheritance? What is inheritance? You have seen the UI policy. Inheritance we are deriving from one to another. Inheritance is true, it will apply all the change. If it is a false, it will not be applicable. Reverse false, you know. Active true is no. Application scope will tell you what is the application scope. Applications will tell you. It includes it. If you want to apply this data policy, if you want a SOAP integration, we are going to do it. Use as UI policy and client. If you want to execute this one as policy and that one, we can read it. So I'm just making the same thing marital status. The same thing. So what is the condition? Marital status was married. Once you have done this, submit that one, now you have to give the data policy actions. If you want to can convert this to data policy, UI policy, this UI policy. I'm sorry. By using data policy, we can give mandatory or read only. So I'm just going to the mandatory, where was the wife name? Wife name. And read only I'm not giving. This one read only is nothing but which is in the private state. If it is a mandatory, it should be mandatory. If it is not mandatory, it should not be mandatory. Which was in the private state, which is configured from the dictionary, it will display here. So I'm just making mandatory as true. Here there is no display. And I just want to create one more thing. So child name, child 1, child 2. So child was unapplicable. Child 2, it's a mandatory. The same thing. Just configure here. So this was done. Just so now you can verify here. Just go to the employee person. We have inactive that one. Go to the Sanjay card. Every single it was not mandatory, but it was displaying. We can see. So we just want to go to the new record. So create a new record. Let's see what happens. Employee name Marish. So the marital status, if I given the married, when I want to create this one, it will execute in the browser level. So I just fill the details. It will be saved to the database level. Okay. So but we cannot see when you go to the, you can see the data policy. So mostly we will always configure the UI policy. So if you want to configure this UI policy, sorry, data policy into UI policy, okay. So if you want to convert this one as a UI policy, what is the UI policy? What is an UI policy? Just now we have discussed from the last half an hour I am discussing this. So what is an UI policy? That is not so that is which one execute in the browser level. So if you want to convert this data policy to execute in the browser level, just click on this one, and this data policy will automatically active. You can see here, new policy created from data policy. It is a UI policy matter status. So I'm just going to do it as a one. Because data policy will upload in the that one. I'm sorry, that one. When you upload in the import set, you can upload it. So when you configure it, it will show the applied import set. So you can hear, then the visible is labeled. So I'm just reading visible is false. I'm just making visible is false and child you don't want to see. False is there. So I'm just going to just update this. So here, just reload the form. Let's verify. Okay. So when it is status single, then it displays all the things. Then it is a married, children is not displayed. You're observing. So this was the client policy. If you want to convert this one as a data policy, UI policy. This was data policy. Sorry. So immediately it was actually automatically done. Hello. Yes, Rana. Are you able to understand?
Yeah, I've got another question. Sorry. So when do we use the UI policy versus data policy? So if using an import set to load the data, the UI policy will not apply. Is that correct? Exactly. Then you need to implement a data policy because
exactly
import set is not going through the. Okay, that's fine. I was just validating my thinking. Yeah.
So you got it. You got it. Still any confusion with the data policy and UI policies? Okay. I will use sample task for today. So please let us. Please note on the sample task. So create a table, employee table of that one. Create a checkbox. Currently working. If it is currently working, the field type should be true or false. If he is currently working is true, display the joining date. Okay. If he currently is not working, display the date of joining and date of last working day. Date of relieving. You got it? You understand the task? Hello? So you understand the task, simple thing. So if you are currently working in that company, it will display the joining date. If it is true, if it is false, is nothing but you have previously worked. That's why you have to display the currently date of joining and date of. So you can verify this thing. You can configure it and you just apply data policy and verify the import sets. Those are any questions for today's topic or previous? You have policy. You understand this topic? I'm getting it fast. You're able to follow. Please let me getting fast. So if you're not getting fast, I'll follow my flow. Okay? Maybe that will be suffer for you. Please let me know. You understand Anna, data policies and UI policies?
Yes. Yeah.
So any questions? Data policies, UI policies, updates, concepts, still no topics. We have another 10 minutes is there. Please let me know if you have any questions. Data policy is nothing but visualization at table level. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. End user level. So any questions, Rana? Please ask me questions. Then I can you will practice there. Otherwise, I thought that you will never practice it.
No questions still.
No questions, but you are not practicing service, no. Just kidding.
It's not like that. Okay.
Concepts. Okay, please done the task tomorrow. Tomorrow, any doubts? You? Police, I will show you. So, what was the Holy Mary? That was very nice college. Prasad Reddy, Sada Reddy, I know very well. Those are things. So, and which table yesterday you done? Sada Reddy is from my hometown. Both are from same table. Sorry? We don't. He is a corresponding. Prasad Reddy, sorry, Sada Reddy is the head. So this one we have to update this one. I just want to export this one. I'm just importing this one. Sorry, not importing. I'm just exporting this one. I want to update it. Yeah, it's a I'm just downloading this page. Okay. Yeah. Police, what is the table? Open it one. Sales SMR for KM software. So this one thing. Banks, yeah, this was very not genuine version. So I'm just clicking enable again. Here, assume that I just want to take the change these phone numbers. Simple. So maybe you have confusion with police. Police. Was a very high value. So we are just saving this record and closing this one. So why you have to replace this here? So we want to update this update set. Something we have to do some other location. So here just want to go to load data, or else you can go to the import side. I'm sorry, load data. So if you want to get an existing, you can just create a new one. Also create it. So I'm just creating a new thing. Maybe file. What is our path? Update set in the F version. Submit it. So what's our goal? This is our. So you can see the records before we enter. This was Narayana. Which so 6 was included. After that, we have to create a transform map. Create a transform map. In the transform map, test the source name. Test this one. We have given one enforce mandatory. What is the target name? Narayana. Narayana. This one. So we have. So after that, just go to the mapping, or else we click on auto mapping. Those will automatically create it. So here I'm just making this ID as a college as a true. If you create a college as true, you'll if it is already available. It's nothing but it's a primary key in the database. When you go to the SQL terms, it's a primary key. It will automatically update the record if this college is true. If it is not college, that record is not available, that criteria. So if that is not available, it will create a new record. Or else it will go to the duplicates. Just you have given the ID as true. Just go to the run transform. So if you want to observe the date, you can here also observe it. This is the one test table. Just transform it. Now the records has been updated. Transform as is completed. Now, so the records before that one, just refresh it. Phone number will automatically. If you create a new record, if it is there is no is not available, you will create a new record. This is the previous one. If you not created colleague, you will get a duplicate of records. Just try this scenario in the next class. Okay. So you clear about if number is not existing. If it is not, how many police fields we have? If it is match, if it is match, it will update the record. If it doesn't match, it will automatically create a new record. You got it? This is the advantage of police. Police also will ask an interview. There is a question. Please note down if you have. Rana, you understand?
Yes, yes.
So question. Yeah.
Log option implementation. Log option.
Log. In the import that you have seen, what is the use of logs? That is not import log. How many imports? Those logs will be available here. So for the I have done with one. What's the name? Import name. So like this you have done with one. So let me. Sorry, we cannot create it. Sorry. Order. Create a order. Yeah. So this is the one. So when you click on these logs, just click on the log entries. Just click on submit. It will display what are the logs here. So if you want to test it or you can test it, let's see. These are the available logs here. These are the troubleshootings when I got any logs. You can see here. Yeah, this is the transform app. It's deciding this one. Okay. What happens? These are the tables scripted to execute in the backend. That is what was the action has done in the backend. Logs. In logs we can see. Okay. You got that still in confusion? You understand log? What is the log is that what was the actions has done here? So it was that. So you got that still in confusion. Now I got that in confusion regarding this one. Rana, are you available? He is available. Hello.
Hi, Karthik.
Yeah, you understand this one?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, you can check it. If you are interested, ask me next class. Please do the practice, the task once again. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So can we close the session for today? Any questions?
Yep.
So
No questions from me.
So I just close the session. You can leave for the day. So have a nice day and bye bye.